Hello, guys. Um, this is me, Nick, and I have one of my other friends here, David CT 2928.
Hello, hello.
Today we're going to be talking about the newly formed tropical storm Erin that is actually just formed in the Atlantic as of 11 a.m. with the newest advisory that was issued by the National Hurricane Center. Let me just add this onto the stage real quick. All right, wait, let me put it so then it can like just show it. Okay. So as you see here, this is our little entity. This is Tropical Storm Erin. As of right now, it has current winds of 45 miles per hour. And as you see here, the track is forecasting it for it to make a little bit of a southwest nudge before it starts turning up to the north. By at that time, this is, by the way, really far out. This hasn't even made any contact with land as of now. But as of right now, it is being forecasted to be a Category 3 major hurricane. Obviously, a lot of things can change as of, right now because the storm is still very far out. We're talking about maybe 2 weeks before the storm, if it does make any contact with land, which is still uncertain up to this point. But we are not ruling out a potential impact to the United States, as there are some ingredients and some steering patterns that could make that potential impact to the United States. So, let me give you guys some of the scenarios that could happen. Okay, so this is our high pressure. Forgive me for this isn't really that accurate, but I'll try the best I can. And we have another high pressure right here. This is our first scenario, okay? And here we have a little ridge, okay? As Erin makes its way through, this high would be stronger in this scenario, this one right here, and this high would be weaker in this scenario. This gives Erin the space to continue its trek through the Caribbean, but have the chance to curve out to sea, affecting no one, maybe Bermuda. This would be obviously the best case scenario, but we also can't rule out the second scenario, which I think at this point is a 50-50 chance that this could happen, as I've been seeing with recent model trends and all of that. Okay, this is the second scenario, okay? So this is the high, and this is the other high. The highs will meet together north of the storm. This high and this high meet together, making it block block the chance for it to go up. Meaning, meaning with this trough as well, that could be pushing the storm further to the south. That means Aaron could be moving more west into a environment that is extremely favorable. First of all, for development, potentially major hurricane development, bad major hurricane development that could push this either towards Florida, or maybe Aaron can find a little bit of gap between these two highs and make its way skirting the east coast, which is the third scenario. I think I think as of right now it is way too early to tell which scenario will play out, which is why the entire East Coast, the entire East Coast from Halifax all the way down to Miami needs to watch this. All right, David, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that I feel like this could also affect some islands in the Caribbean, like Puerto Rico or Cuba
That
as
is true.
well,
That's
because
true.
it can go south for the high pressure. So it can go lower and just start hitting more in the Caribbean side than Florida or going up the East Coast. But
Yeah.
from what I see now, it's expected to become a hurricane by either Saturday or Thursday. and as you said, we still don't know. It's too early on to see where it could go. And now all we can do is just wait and see until more news come out regarding this storm.
Yeah, these types of storms require a lot of patience. But you do bring a really good point, especially since there is a bunch of dry air, a bunch of dry air, like all around here. There's dry air all around here. Okay,
Hmm.
but the dry air is moving forward and forward, and not to mention the storm is moving quite fast, 20 something miles an hour. I think 21. Uh, so yeah, with that dry air, that could actually hinder its chances for development, which this high pressure, if it's a weaker storm, it could trend more to the south and not get picked up by that high pressure. And it could just continue on south, hit the islands, and hit Florida, anywhere in the East Coast, anywhere within this area. Oh no, not this area. Like somewhere in this area needs to be watching this storm super closely because even though as of right now we don't really have a scenario that's planned out, there could still be there could still be a chance that this can make contact with the United States, which is as of right now a 50-50 chance regarding, it could also be going out to sea as well. But as of right now, yeah, it is way too early to tell if this is going to hit land.
I feel like
Uh,
by the weekend we should get more information
yeah,
on regarding where it could
yeah,
go.
around there maybe. Once, all right. So look, this part of the track, it's pretty confident that it's gonna, move like somewhere around this general area. The models are in a pretty general consensus this is gonna turn into a hurricane, including the National Hurricane Center. But once we get about right here, it could go any which way. It could go out to sea, it could skirt the coast, and it could hit Florida. We're not ruling out the Gulf, but I think it may be a low chance for it to hit the Gulf of Mexico. Sorry, pardon me, Gulf of America. Um, it's still way too early to tell, but we're not ruling out any impact for the United States. This isn't 100% going to be a fish storm where it just curves out to sea. It's not going to be a fish storm. Most likely, I don't think it. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be a fish storm, and this is why. Okay, I don't think it's going to be a fish storm. I think that this could be either a get really really close, which it would still be a fish storm, but that's calling it really close. I'm not saying there could be a impact for the United States, but all of the East Coast need to keep a very close eye on this, especially since right here in the Southwest Atlantic there are super warm waters, 90-degree waters in that matter. So once it get like weak or strong, if it's strong, God forbid, this would probably go a 4, maybe a 5. But like if it does get more to the south, as maybe a, let's say, a minimal hurricane or a tropical storm, it has all of these waters, and if it does make that turn towards Florida or towards the East Coast, it could maybe become a 2, maybe a 3. Not ruling out a 4. It is really really conducive, this environment in the Southwest Atlantic. Okay, so I am going to switch out of Radar Omega and I'm going to bring on tropical tidbits. So let's pull that up. I'm gonna first show the GEFS models and the model guidance to like show you guys.
Uh,
Okay,
I found something here on Newsweek. They came out with something new at 2:41 p.m. today, and it shows a potential path of the eye, and it's going through the Bermuda, and but there's still a chance it can still go more east and just start going to.
definitely, definitely. Bermuda needs to also keep a very close eye on this, especially since well, not most of the models, but a pretty good chunk of them are showing that turn towards Bermuda. All right, so here is the GEFS model and the model guidance. Okay, so most of these, well, not most, but like a good chunk of them are going out to sea or making that curve sometime. Still way too far out to tell. Once we get to maybe around or near the Greater Antilles, you don't know where this is gonna go. You do not know where this is gonna go. And look at some of the models that are keeping this to the south and just crashing it towards Florida, which is why I think that not just Florida, the entire East Coast needs to watch this very closely. It is still way too far out to tell. If there was a cone of uncertainty right now, well, there is a cone of uncertainty, but if the cone of uncertainty spreaded for 14 days, the cone would be all the way to the tip of the Keys, all the way to Halifax and Newfoundland and St. John. That's how wide the uncertainty is right now. It's still way too far out to tell right now, which is
Yeah,
why,
checking here Newsweek, it's saying low risk from Miami up to New York, and then anything over to Halifax is like a medium risk of tropical rain to wind impact risk.
yeah,
But of
I'll check.
course,
I'll
it's
check the
still too
news
far
week.
to see.
Yeah, I'll check. I'll check the news week. But before we do that, yeah, guys, the cone of uncertainty, if it was right now, it'd be all the way from the tip of the Keys, maybe even Cuba, all the way to Halifax. It's way too far out to tell where this is gonna go. Which is also why what you see right here with these models going out to sea, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, even though there is a slight trend. Well, not a slight trend. Actually, the trend was that it actually is going more to the south, but there has been some model guidance taking this out to sea, which is why you need to take everything with a grain of salt. Maybe it doesn't impact the United States. Maybe it could be a fish storm. No one knows at this certain point as of right now, which is why everything is so uncertain and that everyone needs to watch this, especially the people in the Caribbean, especially the people in Puerto Rico and in the Greater Antilles and the Lesser Antilles, maybe even Dominican Republic, maybe even Cuba. Everyone, everyone needs to watch this because you don't know if it's going to be going further south or if it could be going further north. Which, in that case, Bermuda, we need a very close eye on this. All right, David. You could show me the Newsweek article. Let me just take this out.
Yeah, you can
Stop.
just let me see if I can.
You know how to do it,
Wait,
right?
not really, because I'm on my computer and I'm logged in through the phone, but I'm trying to see if I can.
Let me put the ticker for this right now. Tropical storm Erin forms just west of the Cabo Verde Islands. Here is the discussion and outlook. This is from the National Hurricane Center, by the way. At 2 p.m. Cape Verde time, I think that may be right. The center of Tropical Storm Erin was located near latitude 17.4 north, which is just by the Cabo Verde Islands, and longitude 28.0 west. Erin is moving towards the west at nearly 20 miles an hour, which is really, really fast. Well, in hurricane terms, and this motion is expected to continue for the next several days. So it's going to be moving west. We just don't know when that turn's going to happen. Earlier satellite wind data indicated that maximum sustained winds are near 45 miles an hour, or 75 kilometers an hour for the European people and basically everyone else in the world, with higher gusts. Gradual strengthening is forecast over the next several days. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards. So this is a very small storm, by the way, only 35 miles are the tropical storm winds extending from. Obviously, it will get bigger over time as the storm grows into intensity and in size. The estimated minimum central pressure is 10,000, well, 10,000, 1,004 millibars. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that ticker there for everyone to see. David, you can pull up the Newsweek article if you like.
Uh, Maybe if I turn on my camera, it works, because I
I
can't really
don't
have any other
suggest that.
way.
I think go to present or invite,
Mhm.
and then just share. Go to where it says share screen, and you can share the screen there.
True. Let me see if I can do that. Or if you want me to, I can send you the link so you have it there and you can
Oh yeah, that
show it.
you could also do that too.
I'll be sending you the link right now. Give me one quick second.
Guys, take all of this with a grain of salt. By the way, it is still very far out. You don't know where it could go. You don't know if it's gonna be a fish storm or if it could, hit the United States. So I will pause the video until David finds the link. So I will pause it. All right, guys. Now I'm going to pull up the GEPS ensemble guidance. So let me put that up. This shows the GEFS. Wait, hold on, hold on. Wait, this is showing the wrong one. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, and now we have it. All right, here, guys, we have the GEPS model ensemble guidance. You can see here that this particular one does show a little bit more of that recurving out to sea, which is a better scenario. Obviously, still take this with a grain of salt, but at least there is some good news within this madness that this could be turning out to sea, and it is showing most of the general consensus in that GEPS model is showing that going out to sea. Obviously, for Bermuda, um, yeah, most of these models are sending it your way. So all of my friends in Bermuda, stay safe. Obviously, this is still far out. You don't know where this is gonna go, but it is good to keep an eye out on this for everyone here in Bermuda. So I am going now to take this out, and we're gonna look for something else to show you guys. And here we have our most earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical storm force winds. It is sort of grazing these northern islands. Um, around this is the earliest reasonable time, by the way, which also does just mark the uncertainty that the tropical storm force winds could extend all the way up north or all the way down south, which is just keeps highlighting just how how uncertain this is right now. So this is earliest reasonable time for all of my friends up in these northern islands. So it does show Friday 8 a.m. is when it does start coming in, and then by the time at Friday 8 p.m., this is earliest reasonable time. By the way, this doesn't mean it will hit at this time. Friday 8 p.m. it would already be over. All right, now this is the most likely time. So at Friday 8 p.m. is when it starts nearing those northern islands up there, and maybe at, like, if I'm estimating this, maybe somewhere around Saturday morning is when those winds could be in those islands up there near the Greater Antilles. So, all right, I'll take this out and I'll show you guys probably one more thing before we will have to end the video. Okay. Sorry for the mix up earlier. That was the Lesser Antilles. I do not know why I said the Greater Antilles. The Lesser Antilles will be the ones feeling those tropical storm force winds. Please excuse my mistake. All right, guys, here's a little recap of everything before we do end the video. So here is Tropical Storm Erin right here. I already showed you guys the three scenarios that will be happening with this high pressure right here, this high pressure right here, about how it could either curve off the sea. These high pressures meet up right here, and it could create a blockage where it could hit somewhere near Florida or somewhere near the East Coast, or it could create a little gap where it can move north, but it would have to hit the East Coast or somewhere somehow graze the East Coast. We looked over model guidance and showed that it is still very inconsistent as up to now. If I were to make a cone of uncertainty right now, it would be here all the way to St. John. So that is why I am telling all of the entire East Coast to be watching this and monitoring this and keeping a very close eye. And that is all for today. Um, have a good day for everyone here, and we will be signing off right now. All right, David. Any last thing you want to say?
Not really. We already said it all. I just want to thank you, Nikki, as well for having me, and I hope everyone has a good day and keep a watch on this storm.
All right, awesome. All right, see you guys. Have a good day.